Hello, Full Force. This is Captain Fruit reporting for duty, and today I'm going to put on some nostalgia goggles, if you will. Take us back to a time where you could put down your skateboard and not have to worry that if you took a fall that you shattered your body in a million pieces. Well, actually, you still could back then, but I'm at the age now where there's no way I'm stepping on a skateboard anymore, because if I take a fall and hit pavement, it's just not going to be pretty. The days of being able to fall down, dust yourself off, and bounce back up are just gone for me. But some of you might be there, and that's fine too. So this is going to be an interesting take. If you haven't heard, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 are getting remade from the ground up. And now I'm getting this information from several different sources, but I'm showing this one from TechCrunch here by Greg Komparek in this article. But it's got some key features that maybe you didn't think about, didn't realize, or things that we should talk about or potential concerns too. I just want to take a little bit in this video and have a little discussion here. So I'd love you to share your thoughts in the comments when we're done down below. So anyway, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 takes us back like 20 years, right? So they're coming back with a complete, fully blown graphic overhaul, online multiplayer. That could be really cool. And yes, some of the music from the game, like the song Goldfinger. Now, it won't have all. We'll talk about that too. Here's the announcement trailer, which does a good job of showing how much better things will look 20 years later. And I'm going to show just a little bit of this announcement trailer here. Check this out. Look, granted, pre-rendered stuff like this video doesn't really show much, but they do show supposedly gameplay here. Here we go. One epic collection. Still nothing to, gameplay showing. Now here, let's start showing some gameplay video. It does show some. There we go. See, we're getting comparisons here of how much different it is. And so you're going to see it's a lot less jaggy, looks a lot more smooth. That's the key right there. Alright. So with that said here, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 were originally published by Activision and were developed by Neversoft, but Neversoft no longer exists anymore. So these remakes are now being built by Vicarious Visions. And why is that potentially a good thing? Well, if you remember, Vicarious Visions was the company that did the studio that did the 2017 remake of the original Crash Bandicoot trilogy. And they did a really good job. They kept it to its core roots. They just upgraded it to today's visuals and in general, and so they didn't really mess with the formula much. And I think that's what people are going to want with this. They don't want a massive change to the formula. I think they want this coming back to what it was, because I think this game is largely going to sell to the retro, the nostalgia goggles people here. And there should be enough of those to make this game successful, because there was a ton of those people, and they still play games today. I was never a die-hard Tony Hawk player. I was a very casual player. I'd played a little here and there, never very good at it. But nonetheless, this still does look interesting to me. What we definitely don't want, though, is turning back the pages to Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5. Which it also mentions here too. It correctly mentions that it was a bug-ridden mess. It was just absolute garbage. So people are probably afraid of that happening. I don't think we're going to get that happening here, based on what we've seen with the Crash Bandicoot. Now, here's the interesting thing too. The two titles are going to be sold as one, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and it's supposedly going to have every level and Pro Skater found in the originals. Now in 4D with all the 3D models redone. Also returning is and here's a key, most of the original soundtrack, licensing and things like that caused them not to be able to get everything. But they're still going to have a lot there, and so I think that's going to be an interesting point too. Now here's another little tidbit. It says it'll be picking up a few tricks that didn't appear in the series until Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3. So here is a little tweak of the formula. Perhaps the most notable are reverts, would let you build absolutely massive combos and otherwise impossible scores. I don't think that's going to be anything that's going to turn people off there. Only time will tell. Now here's another thing too that I think is going to be really cool. Another big feature is to create a park editor. So not only can you play online with friends, you can create your own parks. Now I don't know how deep that's going to be. Only time will tell. I think it'd be awesome. It's almost like Mario Maker, right? You can make these awesome skate parks and have your friends share and do them too. I think that's going to add a lot of depth for the online multiplayer. Not just skating for points against your friends. It also says, tired of playing 1 and want to check out 2? Vicarious tells me that you'll be able to hop back and forth between the two titles pretty quickly. Now this is a little interesting. Notice pretty quickly. And that they've added a progressive system that meshes the two together. That's going to be interesting. I don't know if I like that or not, but only time will tell. So it's less like playing two entirely separate games and more like one game with two distinct halves. So I don't know if how that's going to work exactly, but it does seem interesting, but I'm a little skeptical. Now, this next part's a little saddening, but yet there's no guarantee here, okay? It says Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 is expected to hit PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and PC on September 4th for $39. That's a pretty fair price point. You're technically getting two games, but they're remakes. You're not paying the full new game price like you would normally. So I think that's probably a good price, probably fair. What are your thoughts on that price? Is 39 too steep for this since it's a remake, or do you think that that's pretty fair? I think with the work and what's going to be done here, it's probably okay. Now, with pre-orders getting access to the warehouse level before the full game ships, that I don't care for. I'm not a fan of pre-order. I hate pre-order personally. I buy before you try. Ugh, I don't like it, because what happens if they pop out a jaggy mess? I'm not going to be happy for that at all. But that, that's just the way the world is. I'm not a fan of that. I don't support that kind of thing. But here's another one too that makes me scratch my head. Sadly, they have not announced any Switch support. So no Nintendo Switch. That doesn't mean it isn't going to happen. This happens all the time where it might come later and things. I find it hard to believe that Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2 remake here, HD remake, is not going to be available on the Nintendo Switch. How can you not have that on the Switch? Switch is a very popular, great machine, and they're hitting all these other platforms. I think it's only a matter of time. It just hasn't been announced. So there we have it, people. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 being brought back again. What are your thoughts on it? Do you plan on getting it? Have you ever played the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2? If so, are those nostalgia glasses being put back on? You want to play this? Also, I'm really interested to hear this. If you've never played Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, is this interesting to you at all? I'm really curious to hear that. All right, well, thank you for taking time to watch this video. I greatly appreciate it. Until next time, keep it frugal. I want to make sure I take a moment to thank the people that helped make this video possible. I consider you producers of this channel and of this show. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. So I'd like to thank Rags, Comic Boom, Pop Size, The Frag Minion, Warren JB, Lynchnut, David Osenwitz, sorry if I mispronounced your name, and A Penny for Your Dimes. I also want to thank the people that like to remain anonymous and anybody else that has contributed to this channel in the past. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. If you find yourself in a position you can help and you want to see your name here too as a producer credit, go ahead and look down on the links below. There will be a Patreon, a subscribe star, as well as a one-time donation, and you can see your name up here too. Thank you.